Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Coloring with MJ. I'm MJ, and I'm super excited to have you here today because we're going to be doing some fall leaves. Some tips to work with fall leaves when you're coloring grayscale and using only one color for those. But also, I'll be sharing some of my favorite color combinations to create some interesting fall leaves. And we're going to be using one of the pages from my new book, Fall Fairies, which is now available on Amazon. It's this one, which is also right now on the Fall Fairies contest. I've been super excited. We've already seen some entries for it, so I cannot wait to see yours. Make sure you go to our Facebook page in the group so you can find out all the details for the contest. There's 3 pages, so if you color all 3, obviously you get 3 chances to win. So make sure you do that. So let's get started. So I'm gonna switch things up. Instead of coloring the whole page, we're gonna be focusing on coloring the leaves, and I'll be using some of these leaves as examples for how to color them. So I'm gonna switch, I'm gonna get closer so you can see more detail. Okay, so we are up close now, and I wanna get started coloring using only one color. In this case, we're gonna use the Limepeel, which is the 1005 from the Prismacolor Premier pencils, and we're gonna use it on this grayscale page. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with light pressure, and we're just gonna apply gently all over our leaf. And one of the fascinating things and helpful things, at least I find, of coloring grayscale is it gives you a map, a guide on how to color. Like, you've been given already uh, the details of where the light is and where the shadows or the darker areas are. So all you have to do is use that to apply your colors. And one of the things you can do is color using only one color. So for this one, I'm using this Limepeel, and we're just going over all of it with it. And you can already see how the areas that were darker on the leaf are darker. Even if this Limepeel is the same color, this area looks darker than this one over here. So since we were already given that value of the light, instead of our color pencil covering all the color, it's just getting that shade as we are applying it. Now, depending on the level of grayscale, some are darker, some are a little lighter, then things will be a little different. So I always recommend practice, practice, practice. That's how you'll get more comfortable with it, and you'll learn what happens to your colors when you're applying it on it. So always start with light pressure, because then you'll be able to control the way your color is interacting with your paper and with the grayscale. So by going slow and with light layers, then you'll be able to just get better results. For this particular video, I'm using multi-purpose printer paper. It's nothing fancy. I picked one that's close to what my Amazon coloring books get printed on. So it's like 75 GSM. So it's on the thinner side, but you can still get great results? So I was asked the other day, can you still get great results with Amazon paper? And the short answer is yes, you can. You don't need fancy color pencils. You don't need fancy paper. Just have fun with it. And I always think it's a great beginner place because it's easy, fun, and as you get more comfortable with it, then you can start trying different papers and trying different color pencils, different techniques. Yeah. As long as you're having fun with it, I'd say you're gonna have great results and just enjoy the time in your process. I left this little area here without color just to keep that little highlight there. And you can see I was just applying little pressure, and that's the result we get for it. And this was, I'm going to write down here, Limepeel. The 1005. Let's see, we're going to now do a leaf using oh, there we go. Let's use the olive green, the 911. Now mine got so small. I need to get one of those pencil extenders. I keep forgetting to actually order one. And we're just going to do the same. We're applying light pressure. Sometimes I do try to apply a bit more pressure on the areas that I see are darker on the page, on the grayscale. And one tip I have for you on recommendation, if the area you're going to color is on the light, then try to go for your lighter colors, because that naturally will just create that same effect. And if you're working with an area that has a darker value, then pick some of your darker colors for that. I'm going with small circular motions. Having your color pencil super sharp helps your pigment get all the way in the paper and the tooth, fill it all in. So just like that. And so notice I left a couple areas a little white just for that a little highlight there. Again, this is just the one color we're using for these leaves. I picked some greens too, even though we're doing fall. This would be like when the leaves are starting to change. So I decided, hey, let's also include some of those darker greens or more yellowish greens as they're changing and transforming into the beautiful colors of the fall. So that's why this too got included. Let's see. Now we're gonna use our Terra Cotta, which is the 944, and let's color this one over here. So for this section, like I said, I'm just using one color per leaf. And as we move through the video, we're gonna be using color combinations too. Because another thing you can do with grayscale and traditional pages, combining those colors to give your pages even more life and make them look more realistic. So sometimes those combinations can give you those results. Hope you can see it a little bit there. Hold on, I forgot to write down the number for this one. And the name. So green. I could barely write there. Let's see. Let's continue with our terracotta. And we're just applying it on this sleeve over here. Just using light pressure to begin. I like to follow the lines of the elements I'm coloring. So for example, if you see hair leaf has those lines, I kind of like to color in that direction. Just kind of keeps that movement on your page. So now I can tell like my color pencil is not as sharp as I would like it, so I'm gonna go sharpen it really quick. The sharper it is, the better it will get all the way there. Let's see. There we go. Oh, broke a little there. So you can see how this area, it was darker on the page already, and so it's definitely giving that value to my terracotta. There I am applying a little bit more pressure just to define that line a little better. And then we'll just move. I'm gonna try to do more precision and fill everything in. I like doing these little motions with my color pencil, kind of like circular, just to get it. So we can cover all the areas. So those little circular motions. So I'm gonna make sure I say hi to everyone. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining me for another coloring session. For a bit of relaxation and just fun. Let me know in the comments why do you color? What's your favorite thing about coloring? And yeah, like, has it been really therapeutic for you? I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Just, it's my moment to get out of my head and relax and just be present in the moment. I hope you're having fun with it too. It's okay if you don't finish your pages. Saying hi to Dan. I'm working on doing that video, Dan, that you suggested about having the color wheel spin and the color the wheel lands on, or the pointer lands on, that's the color I'll use for the page. What do you think? Would anybody else would like to see that video? Let me know in the comments. Sometimes you can leave those little white areas to be your highlights. or you can just come back later and add them with a pen, white pen. It's up to you.
What?
Was it? Let's just define this one a little better.
This.
Okay, let's write down, this one was the Terra Cotta, 944. Okay, and the last one I'm going to use for the single color, we're going to use ginger root as well, which is a 1084. And we're going to use it for this leaf that we have over here. So like I said, you can use single colors on your pages and you'll get those shades already. So that's an option. And if you want to practice doing shading, and so you can apply it for your other pages too, then yeah, I would suggest picking out different color combinations to create those changes in light. And your grayscale pages can help you just learn how to do those highlights and those shaded areas for your other color pages. It's a great way to learn and practice and just get better and have fun with it. Now, I'm going to write down, this one was the ginger root. And here I'm going to show you how ginger root looks here on a darker section of the grayscale. You can still see the color. It's definitely going to look different than if you're applying it on a lighter section. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're working with your grayscale pages. Your color will change, because it will be given that value already.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. This was the section for single colors. And we did some terracotta, some ginger root, some limepeel, and some olive green. Now let's combine some colors and try something different. Okay, for our next color combination, or I guess it's gonna be our first one, I wanna do dark purple, crimson lake, and sunburst yellow. One of the things I like about the changing leaves is that they have those purpley dark tones, and purple is one of my favorite colors. So I said, let's use it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with our dark purple, and we're gonna use the grayscale as our guide. So I'm gonna do the dark purple in those darker sections on my leaf. Again, we're starting with light pressure. As we're gonna be building our color, the color in our leaf or on our leaves. I'm going with light pressure, but since I'm working really precise, like I'm holding my pencil from the closer to the tip, which makes gives you more precision as you're working, and in a way it applies a little more pressure than if you're holding it back. But we're working with smaller details, so holding it close, at least for me, it's just my preference. It's gonna give us more control over these little details. And as I'm working closer to the area that is darker, like I am applying more of my colors, because I know there there won't be a lot of blending. Okay. Just like that.
Yeah.
And as I'm kind of move outside of the section where I'm going to be combining it with other colors, then I kind of let go a little and do a little less pressure for it. And go with a lighter hand.
Yeah, this is
So see, I'm going lighter on these areas. And really, like, the Grayscale is your guide. You can still make the leaf your own or whatever page you're coloring. It's just there to help you kind of get an idea of where the colors, where the light is coming from, what it sort of looks. We're going to change to the Crimson Lake now, which is the 925. And we're going to go over some of these sections here. And we're moving it and outside. So see some of these areas that I did a layer of the dark purple. Now I am applying the Crimson Lake.
houses.
Just like that. Okay, let's do this side over here too. Remember, we're working with layers, so this is not the finished look. We're just very lightly for these sections here. There you go. Okay. Let's move on and start using our Sunburst Yellow, which is the 917. Let's see, we're gonna do right there.
Well, just and analysis or channel this good was and right up like 10 them.
And we're applying it on top of the layers from the other colors.
So this there's more can you just thought do it and I thought follow what
Just like that. I'm using small circular motions so we can get those colors to start combining and filling in the tooth of the paper. Just like that. Let's do the other side. I'm kind of walking my way from the inside of the leaf outside, so it's pulling some of the pigment from these areas outward too, and giving it more intensity on this side as well.
hold that. Yes. Yellows. colors.
You can see how the Sunburst Yellow changes as it goes on top of the Crimson Lake and turns into an orange. Let's get this one sharpened. Okay, so there we have our color combination using these three colors, the Sunburst Yellow, Crimson Lake, and the dark purple. Here we go. Let's switch. Let's try a different one using again this dark purple. But now, instead of using the Sunburst Yellow, we're going to use this one, the Carmine Red. So let's try it out. We're going to use this sleeve to test it out. Again, we're using the dark purple for the middle. Darker areas. Okay, since this one is like a lighter leaf, like it has a lot less grayscale, so you're able to just kind of improvise a little and do your own shading on it. Your own kind of combination of colors, what this leaf is. And so I'm just doing that dark purple layer first. And I'm going over now with the Crimson Lake, some areas over the purple and some other sections here. And I'm gonna go back in with the dark purple for the center to kind of define that section a little more. Like that, and I'm using very light pressure. You can tell I'm holding it from higher position, so I'm not being as precise on this sleeve as I was on the other ones. So just, it's something that you can be aware of. Depending on how you're holding your color pencil, it's the results you're also gonna get. Whether you're holding it from the tip to get more precise results or just being kind of looser with it as you're applying your layers, that will get you different results. Let's switch. We're gonna switch now to the Carmine Red, and we're gonna start applying it from the bottom here, and we're gonna walk our way up, and we're still just like doing light layers because we want to get this to have a nice transition. So we're just going lightly with our layers here. Let's enjoy the process of building up our layers as we're coloring. Let's switch, and then really when you're just working with your layers and all your different colors, you kind of go back and forth between colors. We'll get them a little more you use one and you apply some of it in some areas, and then you notice, oh, I wanted more of it here, and then you switch again. So it's just doing that and seeing how the colors mix and change and get together. Let's switch again. We'll use the Crimson Lake, and we're going to continue until we get it just the way we want. Okay, so there we have it. I'll write down the names for the color combinations I use for this one, so you can have it there as well. Okay, so let's continue with another color combination. Now, something I wanted to point out, I wouldn't recommend using all of these color combinations together because then you'll have too much going on your page. So it's better to just stick to a couple colors and have that be your color palette throughout your page. But I wanted to show you different options so you can pick the ones you like and the one you want to use on your page. So for example, now we're gonna use metallic gold, Spanish orange, and ginger root. And let's start with the metallic gold, and we're gonna use it on this one here. And we're using it for the darker sections, the metallic gold. I'm using way more pressure, as you can tell. And I'm using it for these sections at the very center of the leaf. Then we're gonna work our way out using our Spanish orange. We're going over the gold and upwards, and following what we did with the gold and expanding it, so to speak. And then we're gonna finish it off with our ginger root. So depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I'll go slow with my layers, and then sometimes I do more like this. I apply the color heavier from the get-go. So I think I do that with the darker colors. It's when I go way slower because it's a little harder to come back from the darker colors if you want to do changes. With the lighter colors, you get a bit more room for changes to add. But with your darker ones, it's a little harder to change those back. So, just as a tip, depending on the colors you're working on, and as you get to know them more and you get more comfortable with them, then you'll be able to just kind of measure the intensity you want to get started with. I'm just using this ginger root to kind of finish it off. It's not really going in with the metallic and the Spanish prints, just kind of complementing the outer areas of it. Just a different way to use it. Okay, we're gonna continue with our combinations, and now what I want to do is use these three colors to combine them in one leaf. We're gonna use it on this one. So we're gonna do the olive green, which is the 911 for the darker sections. And just right here. And then we're gonna move our way through the other colors. Okay, so there is that color combination using those three colors that we were using on their own. Now, how they look when you combine them. Okay, let's do another combination. For this one, we're gonna use terracotta to get started, and we're going to use on this darker leaf that we have here. A great way to make your lighter colors stand out is by placing them or just surrounding that light color with a darker tone. It just makes them really pop when you do that. We're switching now to the light umber, and we're applying it on those middle color areas. And I'm going above my terracotta with the light umber. And then just leaving a bit untouched some sections, because that's where I'm gonna want the ginger to come in. Switch to the ginger now. See how it still has room to come in and mix in with the other colors. Yes, I'm going everywhere with it, on top of all the other colors. So I know this one was a darker leaf, just the way we used our colors. We turn it into a lighter leaf. Now for blending these colors and getting them to be together, I'm not really using anything other than my color pencils. So great tool for blending is using your own color pencils and just layering. The more layers you do, the better results you will get. Sometimes, yeah, I kind of rush and maybe it's not as perfect as I would like it to be, but I still had fun with it. So as long as you are having fun, you are enjoying your activity, I consider that a win. So just be patient. There we go. Okay, let's do one more. To finish off the video, we're going to use the terracotta again. We're going to use terracotta with orange and canary yellow. So let's use this leaf that we have over here. And we're going to do some transition. And where my color ended, I kind of go a little bit on it and then work my way out. Yeah, so I just go a little bit over it and then work my way out. And we're trying to create here like a bit of a gradient with our leaf. And we just kind of switch back and forth with our colors. Okay, so there we have it. Those are some of the possibilities that you can use when creating some fall inspired leaves. Like I said, I ideally try not to combine all of them in one page. I would like choose maybe two different ones and try those and use them throughout the page, and then just vary how much of each color they're gonna get. Um, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun just doing some leaves, focusing on that. And I cannot wait to see how you try them on your own pages. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Take care. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Bye bye.